All right, what's up, everybody? We just watched the Microsoft press conference at E3 2015, and Joel, James, and I are all together. Dave is back at his house because Dave gambled on the Microsoft press conference not being worth it, and we all thought probably the same thing. But Dave, would you say that that was not true?
I have gambled and I have lost.
Dave is joining us over Skype, so we'll see how good the video quality is. Well, there is no video. We'll see how good the audio quality is over Skype. Never mind. We're just going to launch straight into the games they talked about, all the stuff they talked about. Going in order, Halo 5 Guardians was the first thing. Looks like Halo.
Yeah, I mean, looks like it's going to be a good game. I honestly can't say I'm like super excited about it just because, I mean, I don't have an Xbox. And I don't have an Xbox yet, but honestly, I don't really... Like, if I miss out on it, it's whatever. Like, if I had an Xbox, I would really enjoy playing it. And I think it's going to be a really, really good game, but... Yeah, I mean, I have a PS4. I'm pretty happy with it on most games, so...
The last Halo I played was Halo 3. It honestly looks pretty similar to Halo 3 with bigger worlds. The worlds look a lot bigger.
You didn't play any Halo 4 at all?
I didn't.
I swear, I thought you played with us a little bit. But
no, I mean, it looked good. It was expansive. Graphics were pretty, but it's just, I don't know, it was more Halo.
It was more of the same, just the new edition.
Yeah.
It's kind of become the Call of Duty, like... taking that same route. It's like a little bit.
I think it's a little higher quality than Call of Duty. Just when it comes to multiplayer, Halo 4 was a lot of fun. It was really good when it come to balance. But anyways, yeah, it looks great. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Don't know if I'm gonna buy an Xbox for Halo though.
What's up, Dave?
For me, it's just kind of funny. Like, it looks pretty good, but I am like half a decade behind on Halo, if not more, at this point. I played like the first two games, a little bit of the third. Like, I'm just so far behind. I'm never gonna catch up at this point. It's my other Mass Effect.
Yeah. Recore. Gosh, I barely even remember what Recore was.
It was like a girl with like a little robot dog.
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It looked like robots have like little orbs of power.
It's like Destiny, lighter Destiny. It's a little.
It sounds like you can kind of replace orbs with different robots and have different pals or something with you. But honestly, they didn't show any gameplay, so honestly, we have no idea what it is.
Yeah,
the concept is okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
But there are a lot of these games. A lot of these games we're going to talk about for like 10 seconds a piece because they showed lots of trailers and not a whole lot of actual gameplay footage.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of interesting games. Yeah, but it's just I have no idea what it actually looks like.
So they showed Recore, and then they went right into Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, which tons of people are excited about. Now, unfortunately, it's not their entire catalog.
Yeah.
But even they say like their 100 most popular games. That's probably most games people.
And I bet that's probably going to expand too.
They said
it's going to expand.
But is it any digital games you already own will automatically show up, and then your physical ones?
It wasn't digital. I think it was.
Digital ones you already own will show up, and then any physical ones you pop it in, and then they basically give you the digital version. It looked like. But then does that mean you can sell your Xbox 360 game after the fact?
That would be kind of cool.
So.
Yeah, you have to be able to.
I mean, honestly, you can.
It imprints onto it, destroys the disc. Like no.
Since physical discs for Xbox 360 now are so cheap,
you
could easily go to the store, pick one up, put it in, get your game digitally.
Yeah, that's true.
It's significantly cheaper than buying it
digitally.
digitally.
I wonder how that worked.
Then they didn't really talk about is the quality going to be any better. They showed off Mass Effect, which didn't really look any different. But it's hard to tell on a stream if there will be any differences.
I doubt there's any upsampling or anything.
Yeah, well, if anything, the games that struggle with frame rate probably don't struggle with frame rate anymore. If nothing else, just because
if it's running on like
if it's a hardware limitation, but if it's just bad coding, then
that's true.
Yeah, if it runs like exactly like it's on the 360, which that's my guess, it'll have whatever I think glitches, whatever the 360 version is. But I think that's pretty awesome for people to have maybe.
Yeah,
I mean that's a good reason.
30 games like James does.
That makes me think I might actually trade in because I don't want to lose those games.
Right.
But with the good trade-in deals right now for Xbox One, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. Dave, what do you think about backwards compatibility for Xbox 360?
That was one of the surprising announcements for me, because you would have thought that they would have had this figured out like around the launch time for the console. But I guess it was just so back burner they wanted to
taking a backseat to all the DVR features, all the TV features, sports.
Well, they've been so busy releasing all these first-party games on the Xbox One for the last 2 years.
There was Titanfall last year.
Yeah, I mean that was like a year and a half.
I think honestly, in general, just every platform, PC as well, like games now. I mean, the games are really getting to that point where they need a lot more time for development because every game is just I mean, graphics are getting kind of insane now. You know what I mean? Like, so I think just overall, I think people are just. I think the new consoles are like crap. It takes a lot longer. We can't push them out early. They made the mistake last year. A lot of games came out early that whatever.
It'd be cool if they could find a way to do this for Windows also. Take the Xbox games and make them available.
It would be
wishful thinking.
I would totally love to have it. Like, even if you had to get Xbox One games, pop them into your... And what if you had to get even a DVD drive or something like that for your PC to play the games? I would still do that if you could play them on your PC.
I already have a DVD drive.
Then they talked about the Xbox Elite controller. Now, is this the one they just announced that has the audio port, or is this another one past that? Is it the same one?
This is probably the same. They haven't shown it off yet. They've just announced
No, there was
it,
one that they recently showed.
I think it
was just kind of a little bit of a redesign.
Yeah, I think
so
the
maybe
1
it's just
terabyte version of the Xbox One, I think comes with the controller with just an audio port.
Pretty much like the original one.
But the Elite controller has a swappable D-pad, swappable thumbsticks, rapid fire adjustments on the triggers. It has paddles.
Yeah,
it looks like two
really
paddles
cool
per side. What do you think, Dave?
I mean, I'm not big on controllers, so it looked good, but I really have no way to judge it. So,
well, what did you think about it was some more PC features? Like on a gaming mouse, you'd expect to have adjustable sensitivity, you'd expect macro buttons and stuff, and this had the adjustable speed triggers. You could adjust.
It had adjustable actual joysticks too.
It did.
I mean, maybe I was seeing it wrong, but it sounded like it actually had I don't know, you could change the pressure on pushing it back. Well, that's pretty cool.
It seemed like
I don't know how they're doing that, honestly.
Like a nice gaming mouse, except for your Xbox. So I think it's pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty brilliant.
Customizable controllers aren't new, but just seeing first party.
First party, right? Unusual. The thing with customizable controllers is normally people think they're a little cheap to use in competitions and stuff because it's not the standard thing. But if Microsoft makes their own official one, that will be. I mean, every pro gamer will immediately get one. Now, my concern is. A normal controller is $60 usually. This isn't going to be $100. $100 would not surprise me at all.
I say 75.
You think 75?
75.
It looks really nice, but considering Xbox 360 controller wired is still $20.
I'd sell my 360 to get a nice one. Because I want to get the new one, but I'm kind of tired of the wired.
Those paddles are pretty cool. As a racing guy, I like the paddles. That's pretty awesome.
It could also be helpful for some of the games coming out now that maybe support it, but then you could just easily add a couple extra buttons underneath for the paddles.
I think it just reconfigures the current layout. I don't think it adds new buttons to the game layout.
Alright, Fallout 4. Todd Howard came out and they showed a lot of the same footage as yesterday, a little bit of new shooting footage, maybe 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then they said that mods from the PC would be playable on the Xbox. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that means the modded bases and stuff, and they're just being sensitive with their words. I don't see how you could make actual mods.
I've actually got some thoughts on that.
You do? Okay.
I'm going to bet.
Fallout 4's Unplayable Edition.
I'm going to bet that it is actually your traditional Bethesda game mods available on the Xbox One, but there's going to be a certification program for them of some kind, because some of the mods, the advantage of modding on PC is that you can break stuff, you can go ridiculous, you can say, okay, you need 6 gigs of video memory for this texture mod. There's going to have to be some kind of a filter for these things. You can't just dump mods that might be barely running on PC on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
but even still, that's a new step.
That is that's
pretty cool.
That's
really exciting.
Yeah, that's a big step. And so we were all jazzed up about that, and then EA came out to suck the fun back out of everything.
Wait, was that guy even alive?
With the EA Access?
EA Access. They talk about the EA Vault. 12 of last year's sports titles. All in one place. It looked really stupid. EA Access, how would you even describe it?
Moving on.
Yeah,
if that was a game source for all games, if it was a digital GameFly and you get one game free a month, that'd be.
It's supposed to be, but they're the best and most amazing EA games. Except their big announcement was they're adding Titanfall. That's their big announcement.
And Dragon Age
came out 16 months ago, and they're acting like it's a big deal that's being added to the Vault. The Vault is the $5 bin at GameStop.
At PS Plus, if they put Titanfall on there as a free game, I'd probably pick it up and play again right now just to try it.
PS Plus, yeah.
If it was a free, I would say that's a pretty legit game for a free game. But I think for paying, now paying for service, you have mostly sports
PlayStation
games
Plus
and stuff.
is a paid service. It's like the same price.
I know, but I guess to me, I'm paying for online, paying for all the content. To me, it kind of feels like a little bit like an extra bonus.
If they start putting Microsoft exclusives on there, that'd be sweet.
that's what Sony's going to do tonight.
James is going to twist that knife a little farther.
Dave, we were joking.
I don't know if you felt the knife. I'm going to make sure you feel it.
Dave, we were joking about tonight. We're like, what is Sony going to have to do? We're just like, PS4 now $99 with free Morpheus. It's like they just keep upping it. Xbox exclusives now play on PS4.
Sony Morpheus is now compatible with all Oculus Rift games on PC.
Swappable video cards. Add a PS4 on top of your PS4.
So that doesn't even make sense, but I want it.
We did talk about
3, The Last Guardian.
We did talk about swappable graphics cards for the PS4.
All right.
Downloading more RAM.
And so anyway, moving on from Media Access, which we were totally still talking about. Plants
we actually
vs.
talked about it
Zombies. Garden Warfare 2, also
I'm happy
known
for all
as
the people that really enjoyed it. It's a fun game.
the game
fun.
that
It's
Demi
fun,
giggled about a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Garden Warfare 2. It was obviously a send-up of big action games, but I don't know. It's
Did
probably...
you play the free one on PS Plus?
Garden Warfare?
Yeah.
No, I've only ever played the regular.
It's really well
fun.
done. It feels like a Pixar game.
It probably is
But-
pretty fun, but I don't think it's the type of game I'd spend
not-
$30 for, $20.
No.
It's probably a good PlayStation Plus.
It's not really a good E3
No.
time slot.
Yeah, that's what I think they just needed something to fill up a slot.
Did they? They used like an hour and a half. I don't feel
But there
like
was a lot of
I
trailers.
think no,
though.
EA needed something to fill up the
Oh,
slot.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then Forza 6, a 4GT descended from heaven onto the show floor. It was there for like 30
I
seconds.
heard Jeremiah's squealing.
How much money they spent to bring that out of the ceiling to take it back.
I've seen that car already like 5 times now. But it was still cool to see like video footage of one. But then as soon as the trailer started, the car just goes right back up. What I thought was really great was the guy from the Forza studio came out, and a guy from Ford Motor Company there who was just beaming, and he was like, "And we're really excited we can bring the 4GT to Forza 6." And there's just awkward silence, and the guy from Forza said, "All right, thanks." Anyway, and just moved on, and then the Ford just goes back up into the ceiling.
I wish the guy got in and went up.
There's a burnout the whole way up into the sky, back to heaven.
Dude, if they took it off the platform and just crashed over the stairs, that would have been amazing.
Oh, like that YouTube video, and it starts right now, and the jetpack goes into the water and like that. And Forza 6 begins now. Drives into the audience, kills somebody.
Screen falls down.
Yeah, Forza 6, they didn't really show any gameplay. They showed a couple really short 2-second clips. It looks exactly like Forza 5, but they knocked the car count up.
Graphics did look pretty sick, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
Forza 5 looked basically
Yeah,
the same.
yeah.
But they did knock the car count up to 24 for multiplayer, which is probably influenced by Project Cars a little bit.
So your steering wheel, your big
not
screen.
getting the steering
wheel, the
Yeah.
big
They
screen.
need a gyroscope. In
That little jacket
Elite.
you can wear with the force feedback.
They and they said it will be 1080p 60 FPS, which honestly does excite me, but also worries me because it's an Xbox One. So
shaded
Have you
driving.
played Forza 5 or even a demo of it?
I have not played Forza 5.
It looks really good. Honestly, it really does. I played it at GameStop.
But then we got another trailer with zero gameplay, Dark Souls 3, which really they just needed to show that off so Joel could squeal and order an Xbox One. You know it's going to be a
didn't
PlayStation
say-
game.
Yeah.
No.
I've not said that it was a.
No,
It's
It'll be
definitely
both,
not.
yeah.
They had so many carefully
They
worded
would have said
statements.
exclusive.
Yeah.
They pretended that
Exclusive
Rise of
first.
Tomb Raider was exclusive. They pretended that, like, 5 different occasions, they pretended like that was an exclusive game. So they would definitely say it if they could.
Yeah.
Then we didn't see gameplay footage from The Division yet again. Hopefully Ubisoft does something
Yeah.
better this evening, because that was really disappointing. This is the third E3 The Division is at. It needs
I think I
to...
was like, no, who cares at all even about the story of that game?
We need to have a 20-minute
I'm a little
gameplay demo at this
trailered
point
out.
to be excited.
Yeah,
honestly.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing because I was like, last year's trailer was more moving than this year's trailer. And it's kind of sad you have to compare trailers from 2 years because there's nothing to actually
Yeah.
watch. So I'm betting Ubisoft is going to spend more time on it.
I mean, I got more excited about watching some of the little developer things
Yeah.
on that game.
As
but
far
yeah.
as the Division goes, it looked like what they were showing was more like actual in-game stuff, like what might actually be released versus this little vertical slices of E3 previews.
So not down, so downgraded.
I was gonna say I was watching on Twitch and immediately downgraded, boom, like thousands of people posting downgrade
Really?
over the chat. I'm like, Yeah. It looked a little bit worse than the
it's on a stream, though.
It looks great.
It's a stream. Yeah. You can't tell.
Well, I guarantee you the game will not look like that first trailer that we saw.
No, Dave, they'll totally get that working on the Xbox One. No, they can definitely do that. 1080p, 60 FPS, gorgeous.
120 FPS for their VR simulation. That's just a quick upgrade.
And then they also briefly mentioned Rainbow Six Siege, but they didn't show anything new. It was just a montage of stuff we've already heard about. So moving on, Gigantic.
What was that?
I don't even remember Gigantic.
I don't even remember what that is. What was it?
Dave, do you remember?
Gigantic. Not at all.
All right.
Memorable.
Moving on.
The developers who were listening
showed
like, oh man.
They showed a trailer for ID at Xbox, which after a couple minutes they basically confirmed is Xbox Early Access.
But what games did they specifically mention that would be of worth?
Yeah, Dave, were you... Well, no, we're going to get to that.
Dark.
We'll get to that in
The
a second.
Long Dark.
The Long Dark.
Snowy game. I think Dave has
That's
that.
exciting. That game is fantastic. That will work really well in the Xbox.
Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous. Ark Survival Evolved.
Yeah.
DayZ.
No one's surprised.
Really? No, I was surprised. We didn't know that was coming to Xbox One. It was confirmed for PS4.
PS4 was only announced first because it sounded like the PS4 team got in touch with Bohemia first. Is
Gotcha.
what it was, I think. I mean,
Okay.
They sent them hardware. DayZ sent them codes for the game. There was just a communication there. Once they announced it for PS4, I figured it was just a matter of time until the Xbox.
So then they showed off, as part of ID at Xbox, which is just developers showing off new things on the Xbox platform. You can play them a little bit early if you're an Xbox Live Gold member. That's really all we know about it, but there's a bunch of games coming to it. But the first one they showed off was Tacoma, which is by the creators of Gone Home. It looks like something set in space that's a little space station mystery.
It looks like it'd be a VR game, too.
It looks like it would be a good VR game.
It looked fun. It looked like it would be just an enjoyable experience when it goes on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Ashen, which is kind of the art style of Journey a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like Journey with a little bit of Dark Souls-ish, a little bit like, I don't know, dungeon stuff, but they showed no gameplay. It looked like an early animation build of something. It's like,
Speaking of no gameplay, Beyond Eyes. Remember that one? It was a kind of anime-ish watercolor-looking thing.
It was 30 seconds. and it just mostly showed this little girl like falling down and then a wolf kind of like spazzing out or something.
So that was Beyond Eyes. And then the one we thought was cool, Cuphead.
Yeah,
Cuphead looks like
that looks fantastic.
It looked like Steamboat Willie or the original Popeyes. I thought it was a Popeye game
old Disney
when they showed it off.
or old Popeye type cartoon animation. It looks cool. I like even the titles in between the levels.
The animation's so fluid.
Yeah. And it's co-op.
Everything looks
that looks
good.
really cool.
That looked really good.
Co-op?
Yeah, so that's a day one for join.
And then Dave's God came out on stage. Dean Hall. I was honestly surprised.
How shocked were you, Dave?
I believe in Dean.
Were you just like, what?
Yeah, were you surprised?
I was not expecting for him to actually name his game at all because he only officially left Bohemia 6 months ago.
Yeah,
so he's been working on other projects while he was there.
Oh, I'm sure because he was a contractor last year. He wasn't a full-time employee at Bohemia.
I'm sure he was working those part-time hours. I bet.
But not only did he announce his new game, there was a trailer for it and a full description. It sounds like he's been playing this as soon as that first bundle of cash showed up for the DayZ mod.
Well, so Dave, how would the game's name is Ion? How would you describe it?
Honestly, it sounded exactly like what he always wanted to create. An open world MMO based around it sounds like there's going to be disease and biological stuff. It reminded me a little bit of and I'm having a complete and total mind.
No Man's Sky.
Here. What is the movie that we watched? Interstellar.
Oh, okay.
It's
no spoilers.
The trailer made me think of Interstellar. It sounds like there might be some kind of biological breakdown on Earth, and you have to go out and colonize the universe or something.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Dean Hall level scope for a game.
Let's see if we could have anyone else level execution though.
Yeah.
The only question is how long until the copycats show up.
Yeah.
Presenting Ion Z.
Well, I mean, it's already copying a little bit of No Man's Sky, and
we don't
a lot
really,
of
we don't really know. We don't know enough about either game to say that.
Yeah,
but I bet
it's not like the first open world space game.
I bet we've seen more No Man's Sky later tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, then they showed off Rise of the Tomb Raider. Actual gameplay footage, it looked like. There was some definite gameplay footage with no HUD or anything.
Yeah.
But then they also showed what looked like some maybe cutscene or maybe interactive gameplay.
I mean,
it's hard to tell.
The last game looked really, really good, so I think they're showing gameplay on most
It's just
of it.
more of the same.
Yeah, it's more
I mean,
of the
it looked
same.
really great.
More of the same.
I wish they kind of showed an area where you just kind of explore and like...
More of the same
play
as
than
Lara
just the,
Croft
like,
plays a young, scared woman getting hurt a lot. She swings into the cliffside and falls down and goes, ah! And then is scared and lost and cold, and you must save her as a big, strong white man. Guide Laura to victory.
I'm going to actually disagree about how it looked, because I think that the last Tomb Raider, while it looked good, looked definitely dated. Like, it wasn't like a next-gen looking game or even like a super advanced. It was a very, like, just platforming. It looked good, but this looked much better.
I think this did look a lot better, yeah. Yeah, the last one looked like a really good PS3 game. This one looks like a more modern game. For sure, yeah. They didn't, we don't really know a lot about the story or whatever, but, it's a Tomb Raider game. It's like an Uncharted game. It'll be fun. You'll jump off
looks
a bunch
like
of
a
stuff.
much more polished Tomb
You'll
Raider
kill
game.
300-400 men.
Yeah.
And you'll save your friends, and they'll be inspiring.
I'm just glad it's not, hey, let's do an open world survival game. No, screw that.
I like the survival elements in the last one, actually.
They didn't have enough of it, honestly. I think they could use a little bit more in it, but I'm glad they're not doing like a gigantic open world.
Open
where it's just
world
like,
Tomb Raider. So many tombs.
Damn, Joel contradicts himself.
Wait, how did you contradict himself?
No, I'm just giving him a hard time.
Oh. All right.
He's like, I don't want any survival elements. He was like, but I kind of like the survival
Well,
elements.
they could. I'm saying I just don't want an open world DayZ anymore. Like enough of those
Exactly.
freaking games.
Yeah, open world survival.
I
Like where you do whatever you want, but there's nothing for you to do. So have fun.
That's the most accurate.
That's exactly what it's like. Do whatever you
You
want.
can do literally anything you want as long as it's wandering around, starving, trying not to starve,
glitching into the ground,
killing
nothing
everyone
works.
else.
UI sucks.
We're talking about DayZ.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all
open world
all
survival.
open world survival.
And Rust, the difference is your Willy can be out. Woo!
Sold.
All right. Then they announced Rare Replay, which is Rare Software, or Rare Games, whatever they call themselves. They are celebrating 30 years by putting out $30 for 30 games. It's amazing for a developer to make it 30 years. And Rare has definitely had some downtimes along with the ups.
But some
that's
of the
a
games
really
in that
good
collection
deal.
are really good.
They are.
The newest Banjo-Kazooie that came out on 360, man, that's a gorgeous looking game.
Yeah.
I think you can buy it now for like $7 or something like that, but that's $7.
Yeah.
That's $1 game.
I know you can get a lot of these games on emulators and stuff like that, but it's nice to be able to buy it.
Seriously, $30 for 30 games, like that's a no-brainer purchase for anyone our age, basically.
I love the collection.
Battletoads game would be actually fun.
When they came out with the Sega Genesis collection for PS3, I love that.
There's so many
I wish
Battletoads comments on the Twitch chat.
wish they would do more.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a
I'm surprised.
Battletoads
Battletoads wasn't in the works.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually they're not ever planning to do another Banjo-Kazooie. I know the other team that split is doing Ukulele.
Game journalists every year talk about how they'd love to see a new Banjo-Kazooie, and they never announce one. I think it's kind of one of those games that's probably too old. Like Siphon Filter, at this point, I don't think anyone's really interested.
I'm just sad that there's no really
Like
good
Half-Life
third...
2.
Like, there's no good third-person
Oh, sorry, the developer's
platforming
not
game.
interested in
You know
that
what I mean? Like, there's no good third-person... I want a game that's like Mario 64 again. Fully explorable.
No, some of
You
these...
know what I mean? Like,
some of these...
kind of like that.
some-
I mean,
a
those
little
kind of
bit,
games.
yeah.
And some of these indies that were shown off, like this next one, Sea of Thieves. That looked...
That looked really cool.
That looked kind of fun.
We thought that was Banjo-Kazooie for like the first 30 seconds because of the style. And I was telling Joel, these are the type of games I like seeing on the Xbox. They're not, the graphics, the fidelity isn't that amazing, but the art style is great, so it runs great, and it looks good because it runs so well and the art style's good.
And that can be
Who
fun
doesn't
all
want to be
playing together.
Who doesn't want to be a group of pirates?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know.
That's
Arrgh!
we don't really know anything about it. I'm assuming it's multiplayer.
Like, that game...
Well, yeah.
I would probably buy an Xbox One before I would get it for Halo 5.
Yeah. Well, because it's a new experience in Halo 5.
Yeah.
Halo. But yeah, the Sea of Thieves looked really great, and then we got another trailer for Fable Legends. Does anyone care?
Looked
No.
awful.
It is
I've already seen gameplay of it. It looks crappy.
It's coming on Windows 10, too. I think it was nice they mentioned Windows a couple times during the conference, which for Microsoft is a big deal. Like, hey, you know that thing that 3.5 billion people in the world use? Yeah, that exists still. Like, it's nice that they at least acknowledge it.
We care, I guess.
I think we'll probably get more at the PC conference.
I'm excited. I'm excited about Windows 10 a little bit because it seems like for the first time the Xbox division and the Windows division are like at least talking to each other. Like there are a decent number of interesting features combining the two things. Like the next thing they mentioned was Oculus Rift is of course going to work really well with Windows 10. They said because it's going to come with the Xbox One controller. They're working closely with the team. They mentioned Valve, but then didn't talk about them anymore.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
Valve is working on their Vive VR, right?
Yeah, but they got a lot of connections.
Maybe they'll just have
Oculus.
compatibility. With
Compatibility with Steam. Yeah.
But the cool thing,
HoloLens.
No.
Okay.
They did mention. They did mention that you can actually stream your Xbox games
Right.
into the PC and then use those for VR, which I thought was pretty darn cool.
Because I think Dave. Let me see if you think this is the same thing.
Okay.
It sounds like maybe your computer can do some of the heavy lifting to turn the Xbox footage into VR stuff. That was the impression I got, was that like, because then you can have your cheaper console, decent graphical fidelity, and let your computer do some of the heavy lifting.
I honestly don't think it's that. Only just because I feel like that's a couple.
What, Dave?
I said that's what it sounds like, but to me that sounds like a lot of investing on Xbox One VR when it's like you already have. If you have a computer that can do that, why not just get VR for your computer?
Well,
because if they have
play,
exclusive games.
Yeah, if you want to play Halo 5 with VR or Forza 5, like if you want to play Xbox games with VR, that's not an option.
Yeah, so that's like two reasons to do
No,
this.
dude, they showed a lot.
There's more Xbox only exclusives.
Now, then they show off HoloLens, which we've seen before, and HoloLens lets you like look at a screen on a wall, like it's augmented reality. It's not virtual reality.
Which was just kind of when they showed on the wall.
Yeah, so HoloLens, it was a decently cool idea. Like you can turn any wall into a projector or whatever. You know it's not going to work that well in real life. But then they were like, so we're going to show off Minecraft. I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of cool. And they're like, and this camera has this HoloLens technology built onto it, so you can see what the HoloLens would see in real time. Like, oh, okay. And so you're looking at him playing on the wall, and it looks like he's playing in a three-dimensional space in the wall. And you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. And he's like, and now we're going to walk over to this table.
Holy crap.
I have a hard time even believing that was real, what we just watched. Because they said enough times that this is really happening that I don't think they're lying about it.
I would go all on this table, and I'm playing Minecraft.
It looks so good. They showed off Minecraft, this three-dimensional world comes right out of the table, and the camera, like you would expect it to be a little fuzzy or flicker or something. No, it looks like it just came out of the table. They lean the camera in, and the tracking is perfect.
It's insanely.
Now, the reason why I think it does work is, if anyone's played with a 3DS, some of the AR cards, it was actually really impressive.
But that's tracking an item. This is just like...
No, I know, but I think what they're not showing is, I think you're going to have some sort of track. I don't think it's going to straight up track the table on its own.
You're going to have some, like, a grid, mat you lay down or something?
Now, they can track the table in a similar way. 3DS could do that without anything for some stuff. But, like, you put an AR card down, and all of a sudden through the AR card, this thing would pop up out of it, and it was really impressive. Like, it tracked really, really well. The only lag it had a little bit was just behind it. It didn't really lose tracking. It was just like kind of like Kinect, how it's like, mouse trails, it's like a little bit behind, but it was impressive. Like a little Mario would jump out and like dance and stuff like that, and you could, I don't know, you press buttons and it would shoot fireballs.
The depth of field with the camera was, it was really sweet.
Like again, the tracking was perfect. When they moved around, it didn't look weird. It looked exactly like it should look. I can't imagine how hard that was to get right. Like, that's the biggest thing you can say about it. Microsoft tried a new technology no one else has done, and at least from what we can see, it looks right from the start.
Could you imagine this? Yeah. What if you had a 3D just even bowl of like a giant little tub thing of water, and you had like maybe a little device you could hold in your hand, and you could have a boat, and you could like do all sorts of little water battles or things like that, and add physics and propellers and stuff like that, but actually touch it. Instead of using a controller to manipulate it, you could have something like a little sort of like...
Now, Dave, imagine playing something like City Skylines in that, where you can zoom into your map.
Whoa, that's a great idea.
What I like though is, like, how sweaty are the CEOs over at Lego right now?
Oh wow, yeah.
They're probably like, partnership, guys.
Dude, a Lego game on like this gigantic table. Well, here, holy crap!
If they announced like the Lego Minecraft expansion, like money would just like explosions of money cannons.
You try the VR. Did you try the one where you actually are looking down at like a 3D town? Did you see that one?
I didn't do that one.
Did you see that one, Dave? You saw that VR demo where you're looking down at like some sort of RPG little village.
Maybe. I honestly can't.
There's
remember.
one.
Possibly.
Okay, there's one that's really amazing. You look down at this little 3D town. It's kind of like top down Age of Empires. It was incredible. But if they do that with HoloLens, yeah, that would be insane.
If they can find ways to do like amiibos and stuff like Skylanders, integrate stuff like you can purchase into games using like the HoloLens, they would just make a ton of money.
Yeah. I mean, Dave, I don't know if you... I'm assuming you agree pretty much with us that, like, the HoloLens, that was... We were honestly... Like, the only other thing we have to talk about is Gears of War. We'll just skip real quick. Gears of War Ultimate Edition coming out. They didn't show any gameplay footage. They showed a little bit of footage of Gears of War 4. Hey, it looks like Gears of War. The graphics are a little prettier. That's all we know. It looked fine.
Yeah.
Back to HoloLens. And the whole conference in general. Like, we were... I would say this was a jaw-dropping demo. Would you agree?
If that works like that, if it looks good and it works well, that's going to be a sick...
I was very surprised.
That's a game changer for me. It's one thing to wear your Oculus helmet
because you're seeing through it. Remember, it's clear. That's imagine playing a game. Even if you're playing on a PC game, and you look up and you could have different HUD things on the wall around
Dave.
That would be insane.
What if your Daisy map, Dave? You could just look up from your screen and pinch and zoom it above on your wall.
I've been pinching it a lot.
But yeah, Dave. So, what was your overall impression of the conference? Because we've talked about it a bunch on our end, but we hadn't just asked you.
Yeah, like you guys know, I ended up pretty busy even here at home today, so I wrote off the Microsoft conference, said, I'll watch it off to the side, and you guys can just do the cast without me. I don't think it's going to be much. I mean, and then you've got HoloLens, you've got Dean Hall, you've got backwards compatibility. Good job, Microsoft, finally. That's impressive.
This is the only Microsoft
we're 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah, I would say so. This is the only Microsoft press conference that has ever surprised and delighted me. So much so, if they're still running that trade-in deal at Best Buy, I have an old Xbox 360 Elite. I can honestly swap it for an Xbox One for like very little out-of-pocket money. I'm not saying I will, but this press conference actually made me... James is nodding going, oh yeah, he's going to. This press conference actually made me really tempted, and Microsoft has pretty much never made me really tempted to get one of their products. It's always been like, well, I don't want one, but Forza, or I don't want one, but I kind of want to play Red Dead.
And the Elite controller, too. I mean, you're going to give Microsoft a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Elite controller, like...
You can switch between your Xbox One and PC, so...
Yeah. Honestly... As a PC gamer, you put up with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because, you need them most of the time. You don't love them. They're fine. They're not bad. They're just fine. This is the first time where I actually felt like a little bit of excitement that, like, maybe this time Microsoft means it when they say they care about PC gamers.
They actually care.
Ignore the last 10 times.
Yeah, they're not talking about sports and TV.
Maybe this time.
They only mentioned one sport game, if you don't count racing.
Yeah, and that was only EA Access. Yeah. Jeremiah wants me to wrap it up, but yeah, I think that was about it. But
so yeah, I think it was another success. Bethesda was great. Microsoft has been great. I hope we don't lose
Ubisoft
our stomachs
and EA.
with EA.
If they're pretty bad, I think Sony's going to be pretty awesome. They're going to show some Morpheus stuff. I think we're going to see some cool stuff to end it out tonight.
I wanted to ask you guys too, Joel and James. Bethesda last night, their conference felt a lot more relaxed, a lot more just like, hey, we enjoy making things. Here's some cool things to show you. Xbox and Microsoft had a little bit of that ridiculous giant LED Xbox logos. All the gamers are standing at attention with their controllers. It was a little weird, but it seemed like there was less of that cringiness overall.
There was
this year.
Way less cringe than in the past.
Yeah,
they had no Just Dance going on, no dancers on stage. I mean,
Star Wars Connect.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't mention Connect once. Thank you, Microsoft.
Yeah,
we'll see if HoloLens becomes the new Connect, but. It was also surprising. This is the first year in maybe 6 or 7 years they didn't show Call of Duty, which makes you wonder. Someone's going to be showing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Are the rumors true?
I think it's Sony.
Does Sony have Call of Duty? Find out tonight.
Yeah.
Later. It's a throwdown. All right. Well, thank you, Dave, for taking a little time. We'll see you when you come back over here later today. Yeah, and up next will be the EA conference, sure to be just as thrilling. Will Battlefront suck? Will we know anything else? Will we see
Stay tuned, folks!
Will they let all the sports out that they've been squeezing out
No! FIFA. Okay, goes back. FIFA and Madden. We're going to see Madden and FIFA.
Will they devote to the vault?
Maybe MLB. Basketball. Do they do MLB or no? Is that...
I don't.
Okay, there's
You're asking.
Oh, whatever.
All of us are the wrong.
MLB
people
The
to
Show.
ask
That's
this question.
PS4. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
okay.
We don't sports.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.